everybody. Good morning to you. I am up very early. Not because I want to be up early. It's because of, well, you see what's behind me. Yeah. So not even 6 in the morning. And my cat decided that she just had to get into the cabinets. I don't know why. There's nothing in the cabinets that she needs that she can play with. She just wants to open the cabinet doors and she claws at them loudly, and that wakes me up. And she knows that wakes me up, and I'm not going to be happy being woke up, but she does it anyway. And then once I get up, then she goes right back to bed because, cat life, it doesn't have to make sense. A cat just has to want to do it, and then it makes sense to them at least. So, since I am up because of Booger. Hi, Bugs. Hi, Bugs. Since I'm up because of you, baby. And I did look outside to see if Blackie was around so I can give her food. But she usually doesn't come around till around 9, 10 o'clock. She likes to sleep in a little bit late too. Smart cat. What are we doing today? Well, Mr. Snowflake put out episode 3 of the docu-series that he is doing on Foodie Beauty. And everybody was waiting. Everybody was waiting to see if Chantal would come online and rage. Although, right now, she really can't properly rage. And she's got to keep her mouth shut for just a little bit longer. She's got that strike on her channel, and she can't risk another one. So she's got to keep her mouth shut for just a little while longer. She got to hold it in. But she's not able to hold it all in. She's got to get her rage out here and there. And so what did she do? Well, Chantal's been mad about a lot of different things going on lately. She's angry because Charlie Gold, someone that she's got a big problem with, Charlie Gold was gone for a little bit, and she's come back, and she looks fantastic. She looks great, very healthy. And Chantal knows about Charlie's return, knows that she looks fantastic, and she's not happy about that. And so she's trying to throw negative shade at Charlie and make it all about her. Even though it's not about her, Charlie took care of herself, for herself. It wasn't about Chantal. It was about taking care of her doggone self, and she did a fantastic job. So Chantal's angry about that. She's mad about the episode 3 of the docu-series. She's angry about the episode because there's lots of people who are new beezers that they haven't seen a lot of the stuff that Mr. Snowflake has shown. They weren't around for that time period, and Chantal's done her part with getting rid of a lot of stuff, like deleting and privating stuff so the new beezers won't find out. There's so many deleted live streams and videos that she's done. I mean, like, we're talking into the hundreds. It's impossible to remember everything she's done because she and Natter were just so into live streaming 24/7, 8 to 10 hours a day, every day for over a year. It was nuts. We were all wanting our sleep and we weren't getting it. So she's mad because the new beezers, if they watch the docu-series, they're going to find out a lot of stuff on her. Stuff they didn't know before. And that might affect her viewership. It might affect the number of people coming into her chat. It might affect how they look at her. So she's not a happy camper. And so she can't rage on her channel the way she normally would, like in a video or a live stream, and make some money off her rage, she did a community post at 3 o'clock in the morning. This person who claims to be sick, she's up at 3 a.m. making an angry community post about Charlie. And we're going to get into that. We definitely are, as well as the stuff on Twitter. And then I'm going to react to the episode put out by Mr. Snowflake. So how about let's see, I'm just making sure I am where I need to be. Excuse me. All right. We're going to Twitter. Lots of people have posted the community post on Twitter. So like I don't have to have multiple tabs open. Fantastic. Okay. So for those who are on Twitter, X, you want to join me on Twitter or X. I'm not calling it X. It sounds ridiculous. My handle there is Wild Girl Sarah. All right, let's start here with Lytton Nephalium. Lytton says, here it is, Foodie Beauty. I'm not going to list all the beautiful survivors we have in Girl World. However, I bet we all wish we could choose not to be essayed. Credit to Mr. Snowflake. So this, okay, warning. We're going to do a warning before I show anything, before you guys hear anything. Due to the things that happened with her and Natter back during Crackhead Olympics, some of the things that were discussed during that time, Chantal, she brought up the subject of DV and SA. That was heavily through that content. She was exploiting both those topics for the sake of attention and sympathy and profit. It was so profitable to her. It was so successful that she often brought up those things multiple times after Crackhead Olympics. I mean, she never stopped mentioning them as long as she could make money on them. She'd always bring that stuff up, even though, in my opinion, those things didn't happen to her. They really, really didn't. And I have done react videos here on my channel where she's outright said, no, he never BEAT me. He never SA'd me. She said, come out and said, oh, these things never happened. She's also said, I exaggerate things. I exaggerated the claims. Yeah. So lying about something for the sake of profit. She'll say anything, do anything for the sake of making money. But if you are someone on my channel that you have gone through DV or SA and you are very sensitive to those topics and it might upset you or trigger you, you might want to sit this one out. I mean, it's not going to be bad, but it's going to be mentioned. Just wanting to let you know, give you guys a heads up. So going back to Lytton, here's one of the clips from Mr. Snowflake.
Go with it. It wasn't all for me because it just really didn't feel like assault in my, like it felt more just like we were drunk and just being like pushy and stupid, you know?
And yet, when she spent time with Natter, she swore that the essay happened to her. So, Chantal, for lying about that, biatch, how could you lie about something like that? You suck so bad. You're so disgusting. Lying about something so triggering that has affected a lot of people for the sake of a paycheck, biatch. How dare you? Okay, this is from Florida Salt and Sass and Mo Translates. Okay, here's the community post in question. This is the one that she did at 3 o'clock in the morning. So she made the post and her going off wasn't enough. She turned around and she added more to it. And that's what the edit is all about. So let me just go ahead and bring that up so you guys can see it all. Okay. Okay, so here's the post. Foodie says, edit. For those saying it's not being made about me, then why am I being discussed at all in someone's weight loss video? LMAO. So tacky and weird. Cutting anyone down trying to lose weight to boost yourself is a blank move, period. But like, why are people making another creator's weight loss about me? You know, I'm sure that Charlie took care of herself for herself. It wasn't about you, Chantal. Maybe you're being brought up because you like to scream about fat phobia and fat shaming. At the same time, you go after other people's weight and their looks and their age. I mean, you look for any little thing to use to pick somebody apart. You go after where a person lives and how they live to use as a dig or an insult. So you'll insult somebody any way you can. But if a person doesn't glow up, if they take care of themselves, you'll try to make it all about you. Oh, pity poor me. Ain't nobody buying it. You know, maybe it's being brought up in conversation because you have gone after Charlie and the way she looks. And she looks great now. She looks fantastic. You know, she's doing the doggone thing. You, not so much. Not so much. If the situation were in reverse, Chantal, if it were in reverse and you were losing all kinds of weight, you would be the first to show it off and use it as an insult to everybody else. You know you would. Suck it, haters. I lost X amount of weight and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Like, you wouldn't be doing it for you. You've never done anything for you, for your benefit. It's all about spiting other people. It's all about getting back at other people. Always maintaining that I'm better than you attitude in some way. Can't do something just for your personal benefit. It's got to be about, I am going to do it out of spite for other people. She says, listen, boo-boo, if you're going your hardest to lose weight, to stick it to someone else, you are doing it for the wrong reasons. And yet, Chantal, how many things have you done to spite other people? You're a spiteful person. I could name so many things that you've done to spite other people. You know, like, not just the comments, mind you, but just some of your actions. Getting online and going off on people to spite other people. Let's talk about the OnlyHands photo shoot that you did, dressing up like Dee, acting like single white female, getting a wig to look more like Dee to spite Dee, and also because you were jealous that Dee had natter. You know, like, you do things to spite people all the time. You should be in competition with yourself, not others on their own journeys, says the woman who covets what other people have. All the time. Says the woman who pocket watches everybody. Everybody on YouTube. She pocket watches all the reaction channels, especially FFG. If you are seriously looking for validation from me when this has nothing to do with me, here's a medal, I guess. It's so beyond weird and gross to compare one's journey to someone else's, and even more effed up to rub weight loss in someone's face or use it as a means of self-validation. I want to be happy for those people, but I honestly just feel sad for you. You may have lost weight, but you clearly hate yourself. No, I don't agree with that statement. I think Charlie loves herself and she's taking care of herself. I mean, that's self-love, that's self-care. There's clearly some care going on there. You don't care about yourself, Chantal. When's the last time you have cared about yourself? When is the last time that you've done some self-care, some girl maintenance? It's been a long time, huh? Long time. Like you're not concerned about yourself at all. But there is something good about you being on YouTube, Chantal. Believe it or not. You're functioning as a sort of cautionary tale. You are the 7 deadlies rolled into one person, but you're functioning as a cautionary tale. Like if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't sit in the driver's seat and drive the car, if you live your life without morals or values or restrictions or boundaries, this is what you can become. This is what out of control looks like. You're a cautionary tale. I know it's weird. It's definitely an unusual side effect, but believe it or not, a lot of people have gotten in the comments before and said, I watch Foodie and it's motivated me to work out. Isn't that weird, Chantal, that you have motivated people to work out based on the way that you've lived your life? You've actually motivated some people to get healthy with you being so unhealthy. Like a lot of people have said, I don't want to go there. I don't ever want to be like that. So some good has come from that. In a weird, indirect way, you've inspired people to get healthy. Because there are people that they've looked at your cautionary tale and said, I don't want that to be my story. And yet you won't motivate yourself and take care of yourself. You just won't look in that mirror and face yourself. So 3 o'clock in the morning raging in a community post. Stay mad, Chantal. Stay mad. Stay mad. Florida Salt and Sass, is anyone else mad they aren't stuck in a huge sweltering sandbox with a cheater that can't keep his private parts to himself, begs to blank on strange women and fantasizes about blank and barks like a little poodle? Yeah, like, you know what? Her VIBs, they insist on lying to her and kissing her butt and giving her praise when really she doesn't need the praise. She needs the truth. You guys want her to get better? You got to give her the doggone truth. Golden Girl says, hey, Chantal, just keep focused on your own journey. They are just jealous of your life, your channel, and your marriage, just to name a few things. Golden Girl, you are such a liar. Why would anybody be jealous of Chantal? Okay, let's pull this apart. They are just jealous of your life. Okay, name me one thing about her life that I or anybody else would envy. Name one thing about her life that she has that we don't have, that we can't get. I can name several things about my life that she doesn't have. I have my health. I have my mobility. I have my breathing. I can go places. I don't need a bazillion filters. I'm not ashamed of myself. Okay? So I've got things that she doesn't have right now. Your channel, really? 100K channel that doesn't even make money anymore. She bought her way to 100K. She was stuck at like 97.6.5. She couldn't get the rest of the way there because she kept making people angry and making boring content. So she bought the rest of the way there and she got her plaque. But Ever since then, her channel has not grown, and it's not going to grow as long as she continues to be boring. And her marriage, well, she bought that too. I've been married for real. That's not a real marriage. There's no synergy there. There's no connection. There's no nothing. It's BS. So stop blowing smoke up her big butt, Golden Girl. For real. If you guys want her to get better, you got to tell her the doggone truth. You got to start telling her the truth. But no, I'm not jealous of Foodie. I'm not. Now this made my heart burst. Cat offers its food to unwell owner. Oh. Okay, we're gonna turn off the music. I've been sick in bed the whole day. I woke up to this. The cat's like, I know you're sick, Mama. Here, have some food and feel better. Aww. Be still my heart from why you should have a cat. What a precious baby. Good kitty. Perfectly Imperfect says Foodie Beauty has a history of attacking people for losing weight, saying they hate themselves or have body image issues. Sounds like a you problem, Chantal. Yeah, she even did that during the infamous Cuba rage. People that were her own beezers, they were talking about they had the WLS. She was going after them. She was going after people that had the weight loss surgery. I believe they had the lap band or the gastric bypass and all that. Going after them. Going after people that were just trying to make their health better. Yep, going after Perfectly Imperfect. This was her going after Perfectly Imperfect. Yep. Like there's no perfect image with Foodie. She'll go after you for any reason. You're young, you're old, you're fat, you're thin. Like she'll look for any awful thing to say, because that's what smooth brain people do. Okay, this is from Real Questions. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Pardon me. All right, so what are we looking at here? This is a tweet. Now, look at this. Look how Nick Avocado looked back in the day. He was doing the healthy eating. Look at him now with Hungry Fat Chick. What a difference, eh? He started out doing, vegan, healthy eating, and then he moved into the mukbanging, and it's like a night and day. Absolute night and day. And from Bad Seed, this is like the right is the unfiltered picture of Amber. Yeah, filters turned up to a max level. And another one from Bad Seed with Foodie. Like this here, the right one, that's more her real face. I don't believe this pointy chin nonsense. That doesn't make sense to me from an artistic point of view. Like if you got the top part of your face that is completely round and filled out, you're not going to have the pointy elf chin. No, that doesn't sound realistic to me. No. Okay, so we're done here. Let's get into the third episode from Mr. Snowflake. And thank you, Mr. Snowflake, for doing this, for putting it together. Because documentaries and docu-series like this, it takes so much time to put together and so much work. So much work to put everything into a storyboard, get all the clips, gather them up. And especially something like this, where Chantal's deleted a lot of stuff off her channel and you got to go to many different sources to find what you need and what you're looking for. It's a nightmare. So thank you, Mr. Snowflake, Mr. Cardigan. And might I say, sir, I applaud and I admire your classy snark when you were yesterday when you were on the Under the Hood channel and you were doing the live chat and somebody came in being they were being a tad rude and they were complaining about the pausing and Mr. Snowflake instantly started trolling them. Purposely stopping the trolling. It was hilarious. I love that about you, Mr. Snowflake. That's great. Anyway, enough gabbing. Let's get into it. You know what? Hold on just a second. It's getting hot in here. We don't need that on. Sorry. Whew. I got a heater on and it's making my place cook. I don't need it to cook. It's going to get warm quick. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, we are where we need to be. Perfect. All right. Take us on a little journey back in time, Mr. Snowflake.
Expecting a Foodie Rage and didn't get one. I'll try my hardest tonight for you.
What am I apologize for my wrongdoings? Like what?
When I saw Foodie having sympathy for predators, not just a friend who was one, but all predators, I thought, well, that's obviously the worst thing I'm going to see Foodie Beauty do. No idea.
How is my past boils? Like what?
Lion whispers in your ear. You're
In the last episode, we saw Foodie's first week with the walking red flag we knew as Dom.
So the Egyptian guy is it like
Actually, you know what, Mr. Snowflake? True. Natter is a walking red flag. But if that's true, and it is, Foodie is an even bigger walking red flag. And I don't mean the size of her body. Well, like he's toxic, but she's even more toxic. Like she is a crazy little lollipop, triple dipped in psycho. Like she's like Natter's an awful person. But Natter never hid who he was. He never did. He never fronted something fake. But she did. Like she put on a better version of herself for a while. And then when she thought she had him in the palm of her hands, she decided to just be her real self. But they are both walking. Like if he's a walking red flag, she's an entire blanket. Flaming red blanket. Stretching miles wide. You can't miss it.
I don't know if it's like all Egyptian men, but he's very pushy, like bossy, like tells me what to do. He got mad at me because I didn't want to go over like yesterday. That's the Egyptian guy. Okay, I gotta go. That guy's so pushy. He gets so mad. It's already so toxic. I know there's gonna be red flags, but he gets so mad. Like, how come you took so long to get here?
Why would a grown woman allow herself to be treated so terribly by another human being?
I love men. I love male attention so bad. I love attention, like male attention. I think I'll always be like that, you know?
Yeah, like she goes for the male attention and she hates other women. She absolutely hates other women. She looks at other women as competition rather than friends. She's always treating other women that way, like they're in competition with her when it's the other way around. She's in competition with everybody else because she's so insecure and jealous. Like she wants to be the center of the male attention. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not here to diagnose Foodie, but I'm just going to tell you what she said. She said a while ago that, yeah, she's got daddy issues. She also has abandonment issues. So, like, I'm sure that's a factor. I'm just going to give my opinion here. I think, like, a lot of stuff goes back to her childhood. Things connected to her father. And I think deep down, she's craving a father's love. Although you can't go to a man who's not your father and look for you can't treat your husband or your boyfriend like your father. The kind of love they have to give is going to be different. So trying to use a partner as a surrogate father is just not going to work. You're never going to get what you're really craving and what you're really looking for. But she desperately wants that to get that fatherly love. But you can't do that in somebody who's just a regular partner. But always going for the male attention. Always using the male attention as validation. Like the more men that are paying attention to her, the more men that are fighting over her, the more men that are arguing over her, the more men that are jealous over her, the more she feels she's desirable, attractive. So she's always putting things in play to pit men against each other. Even if it means just bringing up somebody's name to another man. Like she did that all the time with when she was with Natter, she would bring up BB's name to Natter, trying to make Natter jealous, even though BB didn't want anything to do with Foodie, would rather have been left alone. She tried to use BB mentioning him as a way to get to Natter. Although that really wasn't a successful way to get attention from Natter, all it did was make him angry. You know, playing his old petty high school games. And then, of course, when she was with Natter, she would talk trash about Pete to Natter. And then she would go to Natter and then she would go to Pete and talk trash about Natter to Pete. And effectively have both men hating each other. And she liked it. She liked men fighting over her. It was insane. Absolutely insane.
She would get with Dom, and then it would be over.
He's a liar.
You know what? I'm
liar.
sorry, Mr. Snowflake. I got to do a correction. I'm so sorry. So sorry, sir. I am not calling him Dom. I will call him dumb. Because that's what he is. He's dumb. Never in my life will I look at Natter and say Dom. No, he's just dumb.
I hate liars. I hate liars.
Then get back with him and they'd do the whole, oh, I'm done with him this time.
Like, I can't be with somebody who doesn't answer my phone calls or texts.
And it went on and on like this.
Yep.
Not at his place, but I miss him. Oh, I don't know how much longer I can hold out.
Not only was Foodie on and off with Dom, but she was also off and on with our audience as well.
I'm not going to talk about our relationship really at all. So if that's what you're looking for.
You guys are leaving? Why? Don't leave me, guys. I need you guys right now. For real.
One of your fans messaged me the other night
What now?
saying she's concerned about the amount of weed you do,
Oh.
that it's affecting your videos and your lives and everything. She likes you.
I know.
She's just concerned.
At the time, everybody just wanted her out of harm's way.
That freaking ringtone drove us all crazy. We hated it. We hated it. We hated it. We still hate it. We hated it so bad. It's like, oh my God, her phone's ringing. That freaking ringtone, man. The ringtone.
He's really mad I'm talking about him. So I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, and that's something that Chantal often did during Crackhead Olympics. Like she would hang out with Natter. If her and Natter were on good terms, then she wouldn't come online and come on her channel and talk crap about him. But if he did something that made her angry or irritated, she would use her channel and her audience as a way of getting back at him. You know, like she used the fact that she had a public forum to get back at him in moments when she was angry, and also as a means of control and manipulation. Like, oh, you better behave or I'm going to go on my channel and talk crap about you, and what are you going to do about it? She's a control freak. She's manipulative that way.
This is such a mess. I need to get off live stream, you guys. Or I want to stay on live stream.
There he is. He's mad. See, like, and Chantal she never got it. She never got it. Look, if she wanted to be with Natter, going about it in a negative way and using your channel and using your audience as a form of manipulation and control, there's consequences for that. You know, you're showing the guy that you're completely wrapped around how negative you are. Excuse me. How unhinged you are, how much of a control freak you are. These are things that you really shouldn't be showing the guy that you like. You shouldn't be showing those aspects of yourself because it's very off-putting. A man's not going to want to be in a steady relationship with a woman who acts like that. It's going to have the opposite effect. They're going to run for the hills. They're going to be full aware of your instability. And she was always showing her instability when it came to Natter. You know, in so many times, so many different ways. And she wonders why, even to this day, he won't be with her. He's not stupid. He knows there's no stability with Chantal. There's no stability with her finances. There's none with her health. She's got wild mood swings. She's volatile. She might even be violent. There's no calm there. Those waters are not calm. They're very turbulent. He's not about that life.
I just need a minute, okay?
One of the big things that contributed to the audience feeling uneasy about Dom was that we knew him as Dom. We didn't know his real name. We didn't know what he looked like. All we had to go off was Foodie's horrible stories about him and watching her crying on live streams. Foodie.
Yeah, you know what? She screwed herself doing that too. You know, Foodie never thinks 10 moves ahead of everything. She just thought, like, in the moment, impulsive. I need content for my channel. I need views. I need attention. So I'm seeing this guy who's a bit sketchy. I'm going to make up all kinds of wild stories about him to get sympathy from people, to make people concerned for my welfare. I'm going to tell them all kinds of horrible things about him. Well, the back end of that, Chantal, is that after you tell these stories to people, after you paint this really horrible picture of Natter, and you're doing it publicly, that means after you're done saying all that crap, you can't go hang out with them like you want to. You have to run around and sneak around to go see him because you not just have a negative image of yourself, you're painting a negative image for him too. And it's not as something as simple as, oh, he's not really a great guy and we don't like him. No, you painted him as an abusive person. And there's different levels to people not liking another person. You know, not liking somebody's personality, that's one thing. Not liking somebody because you say they are abusive to you, that's a whole nother thing. So you painted us a picture of Natter, a really clear picture. And then you're like, oh, I painted this picture and I got a bunch of money and I got a bunch of attention. But now that I painted the picture, now I have to sneak around because of what I said.
Though, whether she meant to or not, I still can't tell, would reveal his real name during our lives.
Yeah, she did that. She did that. That was a moment. That was a moment right there. Nobody knew his name. She called him Dom. She was so desperate to claim him and have him claim her and keep him off limits for everybody else. She did that. She showed his name on her phone. The moment that she showed his first name on her phone, the Kiwi farmers were on it. They found him. Had she not done that, nobody would have known what his name was. She wasn't even smart enough to put a different name on her phone. She couldn't put a different name. She put his real name. But she did that on purpose, for the purpose of controlling him, manipulating him, having power over him, claiming him so that no other woman could have him. I mean, there's purpose in some of the things she does.
Yeah, now you guys are gonna say his name, and I'm gonna be in trouble. It's so hard being a YouTuber and having a love.
No, it's
like,
not. It's
keeping
not.
your love-
It's not that hard. You did that with a purpose, Chantal. You did that on purpose. You weren't happy with him just being in the background and being a guy that you went and got your party favors from and partying with. You want him in the forefront with you. So this was you basically pulling him without his consent onto your channel, making him more a part of your content.
Love life secret, especially when you go on live and talk about it all day.
We still didn't know what he looked like. Still hadn't seen a video or a photo of him. But we would get the next best thing, sort of.
I can't do the nose right.
So not only did she give us his first name, she drew kind of a picture of him.
Okay, go. Hey,
So you gave us a name and then you gave us kind of an idea of what he looks like.
somebody make this an emoji for the Discord.
Foodie would always tell us, it's just a casual thing, guys. Nothing to worry about. But we knew it wasn't a casual.
Foodie never does anything casual. She's not a casual kind of gal. She's always had the attitude of, hey, I took a shower and I put my lotion on and I put my makeup on and I put my wig on. You better reward me. I got all dressed up. There better be a reward at the end of this rainbow. You better give me something. She doesn't do anything unless there's some sort of reward. There's something at the finish line waiting for her.
Thing. I think for Dom it was, but not for Foodie.
Like him telling me about his past sexual experience as an example of something. I don't like hearing about it.
She definitely didn't give off casual vibes on one live stream where Dom wasn't messaging or calling her back.
No, there's no other lady in the picture.
There would just be comments that would pop up where I'd think, are they trying to get Foodie to do something stupid? And every time, Foodie would do something stupid.
Like, you're not thinking of me if you're not thinking of me to call me back. Like, what could be the reason you can't even answer your phone? Amy Flowers, you shouldn't ever leave your weed there. I'd order more weed and forget the rest. Or go over there and see if he's really there and get your stuff and go. Amy Flowers, I'm honestly tempted to go over there right now.
Amy Flowers. Amy Flowers. That's the same Amy Flowers that, helped FFG get BBJ. BBJ won.
But be like, is there a girl there? I'm not going over there. I'm not gonna go over. And then go get some stuff. and then cry myself
Okay,
to sleep.
this was a night that will always live in infamy. So like her and Natter were playing games with each other. They were having a quabble, you know, they were having an argument. They were playing mind games with each other. First, he tried to call her, and she was playing games with him because she wasn't answering her phone. Then she tried to call him, and he wasn't answering his phone. I guess it's kind of a get back to her. They had spent 3 whole weeks together. Like she went to his house and she was over there for 3 weeks. By the way, let's keep in mind she does have pets. She had BBJ and Sam. And she didn't spend any time at home with her babies. So she was with Natter for 3 weeks. And then Natter decided, you know what? I want to go out with my friends just one day. I need a break from this biatch. So he told her, look, I know you want to spend time with me, but my friends are in town. I want to go out with my friends. That's not what she wanted to hear. She wanted to spend even more time with him. And she just couldn't understand. Some people just have social lives. Just because she's not social doesn't mean other people don't want to be social. Like, because it wasn't under her approval. She got angry. Her chat gassed her up. And then so she put on her little turtleneck and she drove over to his house and she looked to see if there was anybody there. The lights were off. She tried the doorknob. I mean, that's how warped she is in the head.
Sleep. Wake up. And hopefully still be mad like I am now. I feel so dumb.
You are dumb.
I didn't get any weed. I went by his house. I wanted to see if he was home. No, like, I don't think anyone was home. I don't know. Like, he has his room, which was dark, but I mean, if you're in the room with somebody, it's gonna be dark. I didn't hear any noise. His kitchen light was on. The door was locked. I tried the door. I'm like, please be open so I can break in and get my. I know that's illegal, but I don't even know what I'm crying about.
Foodie is so manipulative that she just plays those little petty female games of leaving stuff at people's houses just so she'll always have a reason to call and stop by. Like, she was talking about a guy, I forget who it was exactly, and she said something so incredibly creepy. She said, I just have to get into his house. Now imagine if that were a man talking about a woman versus a woman talking about a man. Either way, it's creepy. So she makes a point to get into somebody's house and buy stuff or leave stuff there, and that way they can't 100% get rid of her. Her going out this night has nothing to do with, oh, I really need the green, or some of my stuff is at Natter's house. No, she just wanted to go over there and see if he was there. And she was just looking for kind of a cover excuse.
I didn't even want a relationship, and that's why I'm crying. And now I'm all hung up on somebody. Probably, I don't even know if we're even right for each other.
You're not. You know what? I take that back. I take it back. You guys were perfect for each other. You're both equally awful. You are. I mean, he's the one, Chantal.
I'm so stressed out.
Sorry, I was just finishing off drawing what my partner looks like. You get that? Camera, get that?
Stop! You're being cheeky.
Anyway, all that panic from Foodie, driving to his house, looking through his window, trying his door. All that panic was for absolutely nothing. He'd simply gone out with some friends, Nothing to worry about. He definitely wasn't seeing any other women.
He said he was like with his guy friends, like his friends from like Egypt or whatever, that came to see him. He was there. They were playing cards and stuff, and he loves playing cards. I don't know. I'll never know if it's really true or not.
It's not true. There, solved it for you. Knowing he wasn't too bothered about her made all her gushing even more cringy to watch.
Do I love him? I do. Oh my god.
Okay, can I see something about that? About the whole I love you thing. When it comes to someone who is selfish, narcissistic, someone like Foodie, or even Naked and Laughing, because I did a tarot reading on her recently, her and King Cobra, Josh. When it comes to somebody who is a bit of a narcissist and selfish, they say the words I love you, and they claim that they want love, but honestly, they get the words love and need mixed up. When they say I love you, more often than not, what they actually mean is I need you. And need is a whole lot different than love. Love is balanced. Love is healthy. Love is positive. Love is caring, compassionate. That's love. Having respect for yourself and for your partner and their dreams and their passions and who they are as a human being and wanting the best for them. In Foodie's case, though, like Naked and Laughing, it's not about love. It's about needing somebody, being codependent on them or making them codependent on you. She's always needed people, but she's never really loved people. She doesn't know what love is, and she's not interested to learn, because real love would mean she has to open herself up and be receptive to being more caring and less selfish. So she never loved Dom. She was just I want to say, he's not Dom, he's dumb. What am I saying? She never loved Natter. He never loved her. They just needed each other for different reasons. He needed her for the money and to get the bills paid and the rent paid and then the phone bill paid. And she needed him for the party favors and to distract her from her boring life and to be content for her channel. I mean, it was all about needs. And here we are, 2024. She says she loves Salah, but honestly, she needs Salah. She needs him as a companion, as a caretaker, because she's lonely. And if Salah walked away from her, there's not going to be another one. She's doing far too much and she's too much of a burden. Anybody would look at her and go, no, thank you. She doesn't have the income anymore to seduce or tempt people. So it's all about the need, Chantal. You need people. You don't love them.
Purple Mermaid. I'm starting to. I'm starting to be in love with him. If he asked you to marry him, what would I say? No.
You know, like that. Notice the one-sided attitude. I'm starting to be in love with him. So you're starting to feel something for this man. But have you consulted him? Have you gone up to him and said, hey, I'm starting to feel feelings for you. How do you feel about me? You know, because all relationships are, it's two sides to a heart, Chantal, not just your side. You think just because you're feeling something, that means this person's automatically yours? No, it's not how it works.
Well, I don't know. Are you guys official? It's complicated.
She'd be on stream saying how much she liked him and talking about the sex life in great detail, even though he'd already told her, stop, shut up. But like all lol cows, although I think Foodie's the worst for it, she's just got zero self-control.
I like
Lo-
finger and mouth.
yeah,
play.
locals
My
overshare.
grubby fingers with crusty nail polish. How much mouth play we have in our relationship?
Ew.
Mouth is very sensual. Did I ever tell you I picked my nose once and then he put my finger in his mouth before I could say anything? I'm just waiting for his reaction.
Look at BB. Little BBJ is judging, and I love it. That look from BBJ, like, really? You're going to get on camera and talk like that? Tell her, BBJ.
And then he was like,
She's so gross.
Yeah.
Is this normal? I don't watch a lot of vloggers and YouTubers. I've watched plenty of Amber, and I'm starting to watch more of Foodie, obviously. But is it normal to just hear people share every detail of their life to a bunch of...
You know what, Mr. Snowflake? I think I can solve part of the mystery for you, sir. So, different channels do different things, and that's their content. When you look at Foodie, when you're dealing with Foodie, she is someone that she came onto YouTube about, 7, 8 years ago. And I mean, just look at her. She's someone that she doesn't really have creativity or artistry or imagination. She's not someone that she can make positive, interesting content. She's a bit ordinary, is Foodie. You know, like there's no like outstanding talent there to speak of. Like, what did she bring onto YouTube? Being a train wreck and knowing how to lie to people. Not very well either. She keeps getting caught. But she doesn't have much in the way of what's in her toolbox that she can work with to keep people interested. So to make up for that lack of talent and originality and artistry, she overshares. Like the oversharing and the being gross and vulgar, that's essentially her content. Like I can't wow the audience with being original and being smart and intelligent. I'm just going to make everybody feel sick from being gross.
strangers online. Oh, here's a story about how I plowed last night. Okay. Oh, here's a story about how I shat my pants. All right. Thank you. I'm going into this Foodie series with a little bit of knowledge already. People tell me what to look out for. Keep an eye out for this. You won't believe what happens here. I know little bits, but I didn't realize this next bit happened. So it was a shock to me, and it was definitely a shock to Foodie.
what's the problem for not officially together? Because he lied to me. Because somebody was catfishing him, Brooklyn, and posted the screenshots. Apparently, Kiwi Farms has screenshots of face. It didn't look like it to me, but the screenshots of his combo looked legit. He told another girl that sent him nudies that he like lied to me like this whole time. Super lied.
Yeah, you know what, Chantal, and you will call girl world haters. Anybody who criticizes you or opposes what you do, automatically they're a hater. So this was in the beginning when you weren't in that deep with Natter. You were warned by Kiwi Farms, by Girl World. This guy, he's a bit of a run around, play around. He is not a monogamous kind of guy, which is what you were looking for. You were warned. More than once, you were warned. But you took the warnings and you ignored them. You said, "Oh, I don't care." You didn't want to stop seeing him. And you could have backed out anytime with Natter. Anytime. Anytime. You had your own house. You had your own bank account. You had your own car. He didn't even have a car. You went to go see him each and every time. Even after he moved to Montreal to get away from you, you would make a point to drive up there. Balls was in your court the entire time. But you were warned, hey, this is not a monogamous kind of dude. nor will he ever be. You didn't want to hear it.
I'm not getting back with him, guys.
Lies.
You're not,
Well, you can't really get back with somebody you're not in a relationship with to begin with.
not gonna let me. Drive his stuff over while you're on live, so you've got everyone here to support.
Okay, hold on. All right. Let's keep going.
This is gonna be it for real. Once those clothes are dropped, it's finito for you. This is it.
Yeah, that was something that Foodie did a lot of. She would do so many things for Natter, as much as she possibly could. Like she was doing the most. Not only was she going over there and spending endless amounts of time and neglecting her pets, like she would spend like weeks at a time with Natter and always go over there with party favors because, you know, that was part of the entrance fee for getting into Club Natter, like going over there with food and party favors and whatever else she could come up with. But, you know, she would buy things for him. She bought him clothes, took him on trips, paid for the phone bill, paid the rent, paid for the electricity. There were frequent trips to places like Adonis and Farm Boy to get healthy groceries. Natter actually ate better than Foodie. You know, he would get the shrimp and the lobster and all the good healthy food while she ate nothing but fast food. He was eating better than her on her money. But also doing his laundry. Like she was just doing the most to integrate herself into his life to where he could not get rid of her. Like her way of thinking was the more I do for him, the more excuses I could come up with to be around him and to call him and always pop up and I'm looking like, you know, like generous Jennifer doing all these things. No, like she's not generous. She does things with a purpose. And the purpose is like by doing these things for you, little by little, I own you.
This is it, girls. I don't need help. I'm fine. I mean, I dropped it off. Good. Bye. I'm good now. I'm done. I know you don't believe me, but I am. Like you have the nerve to ask a woman to do your
And
laundry.
you know, like I'm gonna be fair right here. I'm gonna be fair. You know, Natter and Chantal, they're both selfish, stupid people. And anybody who meets Chantal, anybody who spends 5 minutes around this woman can see that she's unhinged. I'm sure Natter saw it. He just thought he could handle it. He could handle her and get what he wanted out of her. So he kept playing around with her, you know, seeing her, accepting her money, letting her do his laundry. You know, both of them could have cut things off so long ago, but neither one of them did because each of them thought they could control the other. They both underestimated each other, which led to all the fireworks. He looked at her and thought, oh, she's just some fat, stupid, love-struck, love-hungry broad. And she looked at him and thought, oh, he's just some stupid crackhead. They underestimated each other in their arrogance, and then that's where everything came from.
You didn't ask me to. I offered, but or did I? I don't remember. But anyway, it's just like, what are you doing while I'm doing these things for you? You're like disrespecting me.
Once again, she was egged on by a fans to do something stupid. But the main thing I took from this little episode of hers was that she was doing his laundry. He's having sex with her, and probably other women.
Right.
She's doing his laundry, and
Right.
she still isn't his girlfriend. Foodie man. Just when I think you can't get any more pathetic. Oh, here's your laundry, sir. Can we be a couple now? A back massage or a hot chocolate, perhaps? Perhaps if I kiss your feet.
Yep. I'm just gonna stop it right there. Yeah, that happened. Beezers, those of you that don't know, there you go. There's her kissing his feet. And does she look disgusted kissing his feet? No. No, she looks like she's all kinds of into it. And this is not me shaming anybody with a foot fetish. There's nothing wrong with a foot fetish. But does this look like a woman who's being abused by a man? Claiming DV and all that. Does this look like that? Because if you know you're around someone who's abusive, you're afraid of them. And you put off that energy of being intimidated and afraid. She's all into it. I've all long said I think Chantal has a humiliation, degradation fetish. And she was trying to live out this crazy, insane Anastasia, Christian Grey kind of thing with Natter. But instead of 50 Shades of Grey, what they got was 50 Shades of effed up. But wanting the Dom sub thing with him, even though she's not submissive. She's not submissive. There is a term in BDSM where the submissive is topping the Dom during play. Topping from below. You know, you're putting off the image of like, I'm in the submissive role, but you're actually not being submissive. You're taking on the role of the Dom in a way. So like she wants to live out this fantasy with Natter, but yet she couldn't let go of the control. She wanted to control him. Like coming at him in disguise. I'm submissive. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're trying to control him and be his boss. So there were so many things going on during this time period.
The desperation coming through that screen.
Yep.
Ugh. Oh, actually, speaking of pathetic.
I was talking to some guys. I'm so bad. Because I'm talking to a really cute, completely French guy, lives by himself, has a good job, has a car.
Yeah, like this was something that she did during the time of Natter. Purposely getting online, knowing that Natter watches, trying to talk like, I'm talking to all these different guys, Natter. It was her way of trying to goad him to be with her, to claim her. You better claim me. I'm a hot commodity. There's so many other guys that want me. Although we never saw her go out with anybody, never any physical proof. It was just her making up stories. She was still in a high school-ish, immature way trying to goad at Natter to be with her. Like she just kept poking at him. Better grab me up, Natter. Other men want me too. And you listen, call now. Operators are waiting to take your call. Limited time only.
Smart and cute and looks smart and cute, and he's French.
He's 6'6". He's a billionaire. He breathes fire, and he poops gold.
Does he?
Foodie man, could you be anyone's parent?
Right.
Message that guy.
Like, but by having all these exaggerated qualities, it's so obvious she was lying. Now, if she had just said, "Hey, he's about 5'10", you know, he's about average in build, average in looks, you know, and we just started talking, it would be more believable. But with Chantal, everything's got to be grandiose. Everything's got to be better than everyone else. I don't just have a man in my life. I have a demigod. He's 6'6" and he plays basketball and you know, he plays golden eggs. I mean, just everything's got to be bigger and larger and more grandiose than everybody else.
Be like, I can't see you. I don't want to see you anymore. I was just using you to make someone jealous.
To be fair to Foodie, I did feel something when I found out Dom had been messaging other women.
My husband!
So after she dropped his clothes off, we got the usual, I'm done, guys. I'm never going back.
Okay, you know what? Before we go any further, I'm going to put my thoughts and my theory out there as far as the whole thing between her and Natter. Here's what I think happened, or at least partially happened. we all know that Chantal likes to go on dating sites, right? And she had a few profiles. I think that Foodie had profiles on different dating sites, and she made a profile where she advertised herself as an anything goes kind of gal, like anything sexually, meaning like, and I'm not shaming that. I'm just saying, like, just she cast a wide net, hoping that a fish would bite. She should have said, I'm looking for a monogamous relationship, because honestly, that's what she wants. But knowing that she probably wouldn't get many guys talking to her, because there's a lot of guys that are out there that want the more casual thing, she decided to advertise herself as an anything goes, down for anything, anywhere, anytime, with any number of people kind of gal. And somewhere in all of it, she came across Natter. Maybe he had a profile on a site that she was on, and she saw him. And Natter is certainly into, you know, things, groups of people. And so she reached out to him and advertised herself as an anything goes kind of gal. And because she did, he was interested in her. And that was her in to talking to Natter. But when they met up, and Natter basically called her on her bluff and said, hey, I've got friends on speed dial. If you want to get down like that, we can get down like that right now. But she backed out and she backed away. So even though she's a monogamous, I just want one man in my life to obsess over kind of girl, Natter is someone, he's not about monogamy. He's not a regular relationship kind of dude. She knew that, but she tried to work her way around it by seducing him with the money and the YouTube attention. So not really respecting other people's boundaries and interests. Just, I want what I want, and I see what this person is into. I don't care. I'm going to make them into what I want them to be. And she wonders why things don't work. So that's just my theory.
But then she started talking about this French guy and this Indian guy, and oh, I've got a date next week. And I thought, have you? Have you though?
No.
Then I saw her getting all dolled up on a live stream like she used to when she would go over to Dom's house. And I thought, you're back with Dom. You're just too scared to tell your audience.
Right. And that's how stupid this woman is. Because she lied so much, she would often put herself in corners with her own audience by painting this awful picture of Natter and the things he does to you and the things he says to you. Yeah, you're going to make money on YouTube. You're going to get the sympathy and the attention. But at the same time, because you are painting that picture, you're putting yourself in a corner where you have to sneak around to go see him.
And yep, yeah.
I did continue to see Dom after. So whenever I found out that message and I went absolutely nuts and brought his laundry back, I was supposed to stop seeing him, and I had it in my mind that that was going to happen. At this point, I think I realized, like, I'm in love with this guy. Like, I'm sorry for lying to you guys. It wasn't my intention. I fully knew it. I'm like, I'm going to lie to them because
you basically just contradicted yourself. You said, like, I'm sorry for lying to you guys. I didn't mean to. Then you're now confessing that you did mean to. You're fully aware of that.
I didn't want to tell you.
Foodie lied to our audience. I need a glass of water. People were always worried anytime Foodie went over to Dom's house. One, because he sounded very aggressive. And two, all of the drugs. And the more and more live streams I watched, the more under the influence she seemed. It was to the point where every live I was watching, it looked like she'd been beezing. Did I use that right? Beeson?
And guess what? This is my show, and if I'm gonna be on it, you're either gonna watch.
Admittedly, I'm no expert when it comes to Beeson, so I would show the clips I was watching to people and say, "Is she high here?" And every time they'd go, "Yes, of
Yeah.
course she is." But even I could tell on this next live stream, she was away with the fairies.
That's a classy way of putting it. Away with the fairies. Yeah, she was gone here. Absolutely gone. And Foodie knew that we knew when she was under the influence. And she thought that by putting on the sunglasses that we wouldn't be able to see her eyes. But we don't even need the sunglasses on, Foodie.
It sounds like there's someone at my
I think she was under the influence of, I have to say it this way for YouTube, fungi, button mushrooms that you put on pizza. Yes. I think there was some cordyceps going on this night. Yes. Like it said, some mushroom visuals.
I swear, do you hear the thumping? You don't hear the thumping? I swear, I'm not playing.
The back scratcher. Oh no.
Come out now. Oh no.
You know what? I'm sure she was messed up this night, but watching it back, I'm sure she was also playing a lot of stuff up. Because Chantal was all about that life of, I've got to entertain the audience. I've got to be outrageous. I've got to act bizarre. She wanted to make sure to get the most views and the most money. And she knew that if she didn't keep people interested in one way or another, people would stop watching, because look at her channel now.
There's an intruder. Come here.
She's freaking out, and it's the cat in the closet.
You've caused enough trouble tonight. No, open the door. I don't want to be sure. Please.
Wow, what a shock. Nobody ever.
Did you see what happened?
I saw you off your tits. That's what I saw. I thought that taking was starting to get out of hand. A lot of people did. But it wasn't a problem. Foodie knew what she was doing, so just back off, everybody.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And me, back off me as well. Everyone back off.
Why do you guys think I'm going to do? I told you.
Denia. No, I'm not on any kind of bad. So I don't know what people are hearing.
I'm not doing any blow.
She would say that to the audience. I'm not doing any nose candy. And then later on, she made it a video, alive. Was it a video or alive? That she quickly deleted after she made it and posted it, confessing to having a unmeltable snow habit that she spent over $4,000 on. This, of course, does not include the other stuff that she was getting from Natter, the button mushrooms and stuff. Like she paid $300 for some button mushrooms, as well as other stuff. I mean, look at her eyes right now. Look, glassy. This was the only time that she lost weight, because by doing the powder, the party powder, like it basically stopped her from being obsessed over food for a few hours. She did lose weight during this time, a little bit. She would do the powder all day, be up all day, be live streaming all day, and then at night do a tremendous amount of edibles, which would trigger the bee monster. And she would sit there and eat for hours, and the Foodie people loved that. They loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. She was making them real happy during this time, but yeah. Like I'm not doing that stuff. Oh yes, you are. We always knew, Chantal. We always knew.
Falling into drugs. I'm high all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. If you don't like it, don't watch my channel. It's not your business.
I'm gonna get hot like whenever I want to. It's my life. No, I'm not saying criticism is shaming, but saying things like, "What are you doing? You're always high." Blah blah blah, like stuff like that, or "I can't take this. I can't be here for this. Watching you do this to yourself and stuff like that. Like that's shaming. It's belittling."
You're right, Foodie. It is belittling. I'm glad you said something. Well done. All these bloody people concerned about your well-being just because you're on drugs every stream. So what if sometimes you can't see straight? So what if you slur in your words all the time? So what if you think an intruder has entered the house and you have to go pester Pete with your bull? You just back off, guys, right? Just back off. She's got this under control. Don't you, Foodie?
I'm pretty sure that I'm addicted to.
That was a stream. That was the one she deleted. Thank you for including that, Mr. Snowflake. So she posted this, like she was telling people, "Oh, I don't have a powder habit." Then she did this. She did all of this. Yep, sure did.
I just feel really alone and I don't know what to do. Honestly, I don't. I was trying to go through the day and just like be normal, but and cook and everything, but I just can't. I just don't want to. I'm so sorry.
She had actual fans. She had people supporting her, saying, "Don't go back to Dom. He's a danger." And she'd just say, or they'd say, "Don't go back to him. He's going to get you addicted to drugs. You're going to be a mess with." And again, I don't want her addicted to drugs. I guess we're all human, and it's dead easy to let certain things get out of control. None of us are perfect. I didn't like how you spoke to audience, though. I didn't like that. Kicking off with your haters, fine. I get you. Well, I get why she would do that, but kicking off with people who support you, not a good look. But I still didn't want her to slowly wither away and die because of that crap. Nobody wants that. That's not a fun watch for anybody.
I actually flushed the rest of what I had in the toilet. This is the drawer it was in. Oh, my vibrator. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't believe she flushed anything. I think she just moved it out of the drawer. I just can't see Chantal flushing anything. I'm one of those with Chantal. I'll believe it when I see it. Like if you're trying to change your life around and you're saying I'm going to flush something, then take it to the toilet and flush it. Don't tell us about it. Show us.
Before I started episode 3, people told me things. One of which was that Dom had somebody. Yay! Dom has openly said, "Yeah, I've been to jail," and it looked like Foodie knew about it as well.
Victim, and that is the one who got. But this Delphine woman died in 2019 of supposed natural causes. I don't know. He was
okay. Like I don't feel good talking about somebody who's no longer here, but just I remember a long time ago when this came up, when that person's name, Delphine, got mentioned. And the Kiwi farmers, because Natter was now part of the Foodieverse, and the Kiwi farmers are all about keeping up with Chantal. Like any side characters, they're going to thoroughly research. And they're going to go and do background checks and all that stuff because they're very, very thorough on the farms. And so they found out about Delphine. And Delphine was actually Natter's girlfriend before Chantal. And here's the very eerie thing about that. I'm not going to show Delphine's picture, but I saw a picture of Delphine, and Delphine could have been a doppelganger for Chantal. I mean, they could have been sisters, twin sisters. Delphine looked a lot like Chantal. She was also a woman of a bigger size. And from what I understand, Delphine passed away due to a heart attack. So there's that, you know. But Delphine was Natter's companion or girlfriend before Chantal.
Actually, I heard his probation officer was on speaker once, and he was like, he heard me laughing. He's like, "Is that a woman in the background?" It was like, kind of sounded concerned that there was a woman there. He was like, "Does she know about like Delphine?" And I was like, that's when I was like, "Who's that?" But I didn't say anything because I kind of didn't want to know. Like, I just wanted to live in denial because I was having fun.
It seems to be a given, yeah, Dom stabbed somebody. But without proof, I can't say, yes, he stabbed somebody and it wasn't self-defense. There just isn't proof of that. Just like there was no proof that Foodie put her sister in the dryer. But I wouldn't be shocked if it did happen. Not the sister in the dryer. Although I wouldn't be shocked if that happened either.
I said I put my sister in the dryer. It never happened. Yeah, it's full of BS. That's why I don't bother watching those things.
And it's because of Foodie that the internet, has been subjected to Dom. She helped him set up his rubbish YouTube channel to make these cooking videos.
Yeah, about that rubbish channel and that rubbish person. Can we talk about that for a minute? Isn't it strange? Isn't it odd that this man, that she went all in and she set up a channel for him? She set it up. She set up the channel under her name. And I know this because Natter's channel, when you get a channel monetized, it takes a while. Monetization takes a while. There's certain things you have to do. Like getting, back in the day when all this was going on, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Now it's 500 subs and a certain amount of watch hours. But even after you cross those hurdles, like you basically got to be, YouTube contacts you. The whole process of setting up Google AdSense, and then you got to wait for your special code in physical mail. Because Chantal set up the channel, the time to getting all that monetized was cut down by a lot. And she wanted it that way. She wanted the channel under her name that way. If there was any money made, it would go under her account. And therefore, she can control Natter even further. That's why during that whole time period, you know, Natter had to literally wait on the money from the channel that she created because it was going into her account. She never set up the channel to where it would go into his own individual account and she had no access to it. She wanted full control of him and full control of the money.
She got him an iPad to help upload videos. I'm not going to...
But according to Chantal, this was an abusive man. He's an abusive man. But let's bring him onto YouTube and let's expose him to all the women on YouTube. Right, Chantal? Because that's just the thing you do with abusive people.
I'm going to be using any clips from Dom's channel, which I hear has been demonetized now anyway.
Yep.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer blog.
Right.
Hopefully this video here doesn't make you curious and make you want to go and check out his channel. I don't think anybody should want to help him in any way, even a single view. There are a couple of clips, but they're from Foodie's channel, and they don't show his really attractive face. They just show his hands. There's one way he's doing this rubbish magic trick that Foodie's just blown away by.
Oh my god! Did you guys see that?
Foodie, if you like magic tricks, I've got a magic trick for you. I'm going to make your career disappear.
Oops.
And It's gone.
That's funny.
That wasn't bad.
Have any of you like ever been in a relationship? I feel like I have some trauma from it. Just wondering, I guess, if what I went through was something like that.
At this point, they'd been seeing each other for about 3 months ish, so still super early for a relationship. And we've already gotten to, have any of you been in a relationship? Videos following, I'd hear her talking about, oh, we might be moving in together. And meanwhile, she's telling the audience stuff like this. And I've never heard a YouTuber say anything like this. Ever.
I just want to say, I don't want to scare you guys, but I need your help that if I know that you guys know my address, you don't have to send, please don't call the cops or anything, please. Let's just bees. But if I ever say, I want to give a sign, if I ever give a sign, that please, please, please call, okay? Okay. Safe word. What should it be though? Because I don't want to accidentally.
You know what, Foodie? Fuck you. Fuck you. Like I instantly got mad seeing this clip again. Instantly. For so many reasons. First of all, biatch, you're over there talking about a safe word, but you're doing it with a smile on your face. You've got that duper's delight smirk all over your face. You're talking about DV, acting like you're trying to act like you're scared of Natter and put your viewers on high alert. At the same time, you're smirking. I would think if you were really scared about somebody, you wouldn't be smirking. You would look more fearful. See, this is why you're a bad liar and a bad actress. Making up a story about DV does not mean you've actually experienced it. Because you've never actually experienced it, you don't know what it's like to be a real victim or a survivor, bitch. You're bad at faking it. You've never been through it. But you're over here talking about a safe word. Y'all want to know something? Here, let me just inform you. A safe word is a term used in BDSM. A safe word is something that's sometimes used in BDSM scene play. Like they're like code words that you can say to let your dominant partner know where you are as far as the level of pain or being uncomfortable. Like saying the word red, yellow, green. It could be any number of things, but that's a safe word. Versus you're in a DV situation and you might use code words. But how ridiculous is this that this woman got online and she's talking about a safe word which doesn't apply to her situation, and she's saying it on her channel in front of everybody, including Natter. So if Natter knows the safe word, how is it safe, dummy? And doing it with a smirk on her face. Fuck you. Making a mockery of those of us that have been in situations like that, Chantal. People that go into hiding because they're afraid. Live in fear. You were never in fear of Natter. Never. Never, you big old faker. You were never in fear of that man. to the point where you'd sit there and taunt him. You would taunt your abuser, talk about him and calling them names and get mad and screaming at him, screaming in their face. Who does that? You did, because nothing happened. You're just making stuff up. But this ridiculousness right here, talking about a safe word, you're not going to have a safe word for a DV situation. You'll have one for a BDSM consensual scene, Chantal. You don't know whether you're doing a 50 Shades of effed up story here or portraying yourself as a victim.
Say it one day. That's the problem. Has to be something we will not accidentally do, because calling authorities when they're not needed is very serious. Lavender sage, paper clips. Yes. Okay, paper clips. So if I ever yell paper clips, you know why.
Look at that smile. She's not coming on camera looking the least bit serious, like just smirking, like, oh, it's just a big old joke. Fuck you.
Or if I just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Be like paper clips. Paper clips. I need to get paper clips from the store.
Foodie told the audience, if I ever say paperclip, call the police. But then a stream or two later, she'd just be back online, kicking off with the audience and channels for not liking Dom.
Do I have to go strike channels for being... Seriously.
And somehow, her telling her audience, here's me code word in case I get mad, wasn't the maddest thing said in that live stream.
And he said one time, like, he said something really scary one time. He said, call the cops, because I like threatened the cops before. Like, call the cops. I have time to kill you before they get here. And he's right.
You know what's crazy? She didn't leave him after all this.
No, because like Chantal said herself, like she loved the high drama. She really did. Like she was with BB. BB was a good man, but BB was a quiet man. And she found that boring. And Pete's is a quiet person, and she got bored with that too. But she really got into Natter because Natter was probably the first person in her life to tell her no. But she loves that negative energy. She loves that high drama. And she just loved the back and forth with him. She absolutely did.
Or I can pass along a message now, apparently. Yes? Okay, hold on a second. Chantal just came back home. I've got to go down. Hey, everybody, sorry about that. Chantal's having some bit of an emotional day right now, a bit of an emotional breakdown right now.
Remember when I said...
Okay, sorry, Mr. Snowflake. How embarrassing. How embarrassing for Chantal to be as old as she is. And she's had two men in her life that really, really cared about her. BB was a good man. Pete's, he's got his issues, but hardworking guy, and he adores Chantal. She didn't appreciate either one of them. Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't like Pete's. Pete's is a dick. I say that because the way he treated BBJ, nothing changes my mind about that. He's a dick for grabbing onto her face and saying no mercy. So sorry, Pete, but that's just how I feel. But she's had two men in her life that cared about her. Didn't appreciate them. They weren't exciting enough. And how embarrassing is it that you're living with your ex-girlfriend, your ex-fiance, and they're so out of control that you have to comfort them after them putting themselves in a bad situation. And look back on this, Chantal, like Pete was there for you. He was your ride and die. Like you were going off with other men, and you have to know. You have to know, madam, with the amount of love that he has in his heart for you still, you had to know that watching you with other men had to sting more than a little bit. And yet you were always flaunting the men in Pete's face because you counted on the fact that Pete would just always be there for you. You know, he was your doormat that you were constantly wiping your dirty feet on. Just taking him for granted. How embarrassing is it, though, that as a person, like you're so out of control that you're going to your exes looking for comfort.
Between Amber and Foodie, neither more stupid than the other. They're both thick in their own separate ways.
I paid his rent.
Boy, did I get that wrong. Foodie has to be the dumbest lol cow I've ever covered or seen or anything. And I've made videos on Cyrax.
You'll never call the cops.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Mom, what's the number?
I've come to realize that no matter who Foodie's with, it doesn't matter how poorly they treat her, she's never going to be the one to end the relationship.
I just want to be loved. I just want someone to love me.
Notice what she just said. I just want to be loved. But what she's not saying is she's saying, I want to be loved. It's all one-sided. What about the other side, Foodie? How about, I want to be loved, but I want to learn how to love correctly. Everything is always about you, you selfish beast.
Like they can't go without me.
She gave us a code word in case he said, I kill you before the cops get here. And she still didn't leave him. And guess what she did after telling us that? Have a guess. She rocked up on another live stream with Dom, united, them against the world. Well, them against French fried girl.
It's very
It's not
simple.
your problem. You don't talk about me.
Whatever who talk is not your problem.
Yeah.
If somebody something, you go yourself, idiot.
And
Just be gentle.
And I want you to leave me alone. Don't talk about me. You want her to be happy? Go talk to her. Don't talk to me. Don't talk about me.
What a charming fellow he seems. Lovely, just lovely. Yes, Dom was in the background ranting and raving. Maybe they are perfect for each other. Ranting and raving about French Fried Girl, another YouTuber, because she dared speak out against Dom. She dared utter his great name. So anyway, on Dom's behalf, because he doesn't speak English very well, the one flawed and otherwise perfect man, Foodie, nearly said Amber there, Foodie was messaging French Fried Girl on his behalf.
Why are you lying about me? I know it's you. You said you don't know me, but you are spreading lies all over the internet about me. I will have you charged for harassment if you don't do videos of me. You said I knew your friend, and I never did. Your accusations are serious. This is people's lives you are messing with. And then she wrote, listen, when we found out about you, people started talking about you. I told your girlfriend what I heard about you and told her privately to protect herself. That's another thing, FFG. Our relationship is not your relationship. I think like you, I don't know what it is. Like it might remind you, I don't know what, but like it's not, you need to worry about your life.
How dare you? French Fried Girl messaging Foodie Beauty, telling it to protect herself. What gives you the right to do that?
Like call the cops. I have time.
Okay, I would like to say something. Like Frenchie, she's very outspoken and she can certainly speak for herself. Like she doesn't need anybody to speak for her. She is a survivor of extreme DV. She was a victim and then she became a survivor. I'm someone that I've been through extreme DV and SA. For those who weren't around during that time period, like when the whole thing began with Chantal, things got really, really dark. I mean, things went from lighthearted to being dark really, really quick. Chantal was coming online and she was saying things that they weren't just red flags. They were causes of concern. Like, and I will admit that for like more than half a minute, she had me fooled. Like her coming on talking about DV. I was like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? You know, like if you've been through it, if you've been through any kind of DV, whether it's mild or extreme, you know that things can get dangerous really, really quick. You know, like you never know what the person who's hurting you is going to do or how far they're going to push you, what they're going to be up to. So even I was sucked in and fooled by Chantal. Like I react to her, but I'm like, if you've been through it, you know how bad it can get, how dangerous things can get. So Frenchie, she's been through extreme DV. I believe the person who was responsible, he went to jail for what he did to her. But she's been through that experience. And so when Chantal came online and was talking about what was going on with her, I'm sure that struck a nerve with her. And if you've been through it, even if you hate a person, you don't want them going through it. You don't want them to lose their life. And you know that might go in that direction. So she reached out to Chantal for that reason. It wasn't about cow tipping. It was about, hey, you've been through it and you see somebody else going through it and you know how dangerous it can get. You don't want someone to lose their life because it can happen like that. And Chantal was coming online talking about, oh, this person, they've got the black-eyed rage and they hit me so hard that I saw stars. I mean, this was every day, y'all, that she was given all these details. And that was something that raised kind of like a red flag with me. Because I'm like, how can a real DV victim do this? They couldn't. It started to look more and more suspicious. But in that moment, before she started making a routine of it, I'm like, this is scary. I know how scary it can get, how bad it can get. Like you live in terror every day. So Frenchie tried talking some sense into Chantal, and then Chantal turned around and spit in her face. Absolutely spit in her face.
I'm trying to kill you before they get here.
Carry on.
I've always said that your private life is not my business to talk about. I only talk about what she says about you. The address either came from Kiwi Farms. No one ever showed that on YouTube. I used to be with a man just like you. He treated me like he took my money too. I left him. You are worse to Chantal than he was to me, and one day she will open her eyes. Until then, we are all watching Chantal, looking for the signs of a yeah.
She knows the worst. She don't say one word about me.
Yeah. Everyone is watching. So yeah, exactly. I already said that I would never say these things on YouTube. I have not harassed anybody. So like the fact that I talk about him gives you the right to talk and add stuff. You know what I mean?
She nuts. Guess it gives French fried girl the right to talk about it. Gives anybody the right to talk about it. Yes.
Your girlfriend should stop talking about you. It's very simple. She can say, if it's my boyfriend, I can talk about him.
Wasn't your boyfriend though, was he?
We weren't ever like, I know I said like, yeah, we were official, but we weren't like official because,
you know, it's like, it doesn't matter if that is your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, your acquaintance. You're coming online, Chantal, and you're saying this person is doing these certain things to you. You're raising the red flag for everybody. You're causing people to be concerned and nervous and worried. You didn't keep all that stuff to yourself. You wanted everybody to be involved in your business. And then you're going to have fake outrage when they are concerned and they react out of that concern. If you don't want people to be concerned, don't don't overshare, okay? And don't make up freaking lies about things that never happened either. Let's put a stop to that.
Boom! Sucks to be you.
No, she doesn't know him, but she knows all about him and that he all his history, everything. Like, you know, like, give me a break.
Did you see me beat up somebody? Did you see me taking drugs?
How the hell did she go from BB, lovely, quiet BB, to red flag man? Red flag man? Hello?
Well, yeah, like BB was the last decent guy she had in her life. BB was hardworking. He was a decent guy, loved her, good provider. He was independent, though, and he got tired of her crap, got tired of her lies, got tired of her nonsense. The last straw for BB, I feel, was when she cheated on him. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he tossed her out. So after BB, she decided, you know what? I don't want any independent men that can toss me out. I want to find a man to make codependent on me so they can never escape me.
Clearly got some anger issues. You need to just calm your tits. Foodie, you need to stop showing your tits. Many people think what Foodie did next was on purpose. It's definitely on purpose.
This is the conversation. Can you see? All right. She's telling everyone over there, acting big and bad, that she told him to off. Let's see any of that. And do any of you see anything about telling anybody to off? However, that's her number. I showed her number. I'm so sorry. I actually showed her number. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I showed her number.
So Frenchie reached out to Chantal to warn her about Natter and basically just say, hey, you need to be careful, because if you're with an abusive person, things can go south really, really quickly. If he's got the blackout-eyed rage and he's doing this right now, it's just going to get worse. So Frenchie reached out to her out of genuine concern. And this is how Chantal repaid her. By like showing messages and giving the phone to an abusive guy. Like, no good deed goes unpunished.
She gave her number out to thousands of people on the live stream. And she gave French Fry Girl's number to Dom.
Yeah.
He's either incredibly c***y or just stupid. I'll let you pick Foodie. Do you want to be stupid or c***y? Like Morpheus? Which one are you picking, Foodie?
Now, I believe that in the Matrix, there's the red pill and the blue pill. There's a new pill for Chantal. It's the brown pill, because you eat the brown pill, that means you'll always be eating crap the rest of your life. And she took the brown pill.
That I didn't feel comfortable doing, like a position or something. And I don't know, anyway, and just like shoved me, like he like punched my arm or something. And then like I was like, what? Did he like actually like punch my arm? Like,
See, this is the kind of stuff she was saying online, saying he's got the black-eyed rage. He hit me so hard that I saw stars. Now she's claiming, oh, he's doing all this stuff to me. Yet she kept going over there with no fear. He couldn't come to her. She had to go to him. I never once saw an instance where she was intimidated by him. Like looking at him with fear. She was very comfortable in his presence.
And then all of a sudden, I just felt like something like he grabbed my face really hard and was like pinching it. Then he like flicked his cigarette at me. And then like, I felt like something like hard in my face. I didn't see him hit me, but like I feel like punched me in the arms a bunch of times. I hate to say, like, right whenever, like, and then he, like, I felt like just like he hit me in my face. Like,
One
so
moment,
hard,
please. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go.
Just like, I like fell back and like I was like crying, and then I felt like blood.
She didn't want to do a position she didn't feel comfortable with, so he pushed her. Allegedly. He grabbed her face, pinched her face really hard. Allegedly. Punched her in the arm a bunch of times. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
In
Like
the face.
like all this stuff she claiming that he did, and you guys can see Chantal. She's very fair complected. If he had like, and she bruises easy because she was also on blood thinners. So if he had touched her, like she would have gotten a bruise almost instantly. Never saw any bruises except for the consensual ones after their rough sacks.
Made her bleed. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
If only somebody had warned Foodie what he was like. Maybe somebody like French Fried Girl. Maybe somebody like Pulpy. All the reaction channels, all your fans, everybody, family, friends, Pete's, everybody. So up until this point, full transparency, guys. Full transparency. Up until this point, I still felt something. Again, I don't think you can watch a woman being a allegedly, be saying that a lot, allegedly by a man or anybody, by anybody, and not feel something. Foodie's nothing. She's not a thing to me, but I'm still like, ugh. I'm still seeing somebody, you know. So I felt something for her. However, all that sympathy, empathy from me, empathy born, all that gone after I heard her say this.
I actually got in a car accident. I was driving with him, and I was bawling, distraught, because that was the day he was here, and he was being. So I was bawling because he was like being a. And he was like, "Where's the lighter?" And I was like looking at my purse for the lighter, and then like the car heading me, I didn't stop in time, and I hit her, and I was bawling, and she must have felt bad for me, and she was like, "It's okay."
If Foodie wants to make poor decisions to up her excuse of her life, fill your boots, mate. Go nuts. But when her stupid decisions start negatively affecting innocent people, then get in the bin. Just, you've got no right to risk anybody else's safety.
Right.
No right at all. A woman was driving.
Yeah, and I do remember during that whole time period, Chantal was constantly driving intoxicated. Constantly. How many live streams did she do where she was under the influence? She was even in her car once and doing like smoking the green in her car while driving. And there were so many times where she wasn't paying attention and she would run over the curb at the Burger King or the McDonald's. And she thought that was funny. And people would tell her, look, don't drive home if you're intoxicated. Just pull over or something and take a nap or something. Don't put other people at risk because you want to go party the night before or on that day.
In the car, she hit somebody else's car. And I was thinking, oh, what if there was kids in the car? What if, well, anybody in the car, really. But, you know, what if there's a baby in the car? You know what's mad? Even if she did hit a car with a baby in it, and baby.
Yeah, she thought it was absolutely hilarious, Mr. Snowflake. She would just giggle talking about I'm hitting rabbits and frogs and turtles and things like that. She just thought it was funny to kill innocent animals because she wasn't paying attention.
She'd still have fans. The fans who support her now would still have supported. Well, why was the baby in there? It was late. Should have been asleep in its cot. How many times had reaction channels? Everybody. I was thinking of Pulpy specifically. How many times had he warned her about distracted driving? And everybody. But how many times had she been told about distracted driving? And I've no doubt she was high as a kite as well, because every time she went over to Dom's, every time she saw him, there were bees and bees.
I remember one particular live stream that Chantal did. She had a live stream going, and she kept looking over at the screen to see what people were saying. But she was on her way somewhere, and she had her hands off the steering wheel, both of them, not just one, both. using her tummy to kind of like keep the steering wheel in place, but had her hands off the steering wheel, looking down at her phone, ordering food off of her phone, talking on the phone to order the food because she wanted to make sure it was, ready when she got there. I mean, just, it was dangerous and stupid. Absolutely dangerous and stupid.
They were beezing together. So I've no doubt she was high as a kite. Can't prove that, just like I can't prove the cyst in a dryer. Oh, did I mention that again? Sorry. Like reaction channels, and I'm thinking of Pulpy specifically because I just watched a clip of him unhappy with her driving. Pulpy's not pretending to be appalled when Foodie's not paying attention to the road. She could have killed somebody. She hit somebody else's car. Ugh. You cannot risk anybody else's safety because you're a moron. Just can't do it.
True.
Just because she's so pathetic. She's desperate for any man to show her any attention that this alleged scumbag does. And that's good enough for her. And it's risking other people's...
It's good enough for her because she's not willing to work on herself and bring herself up to where she could be a quality person and attract another quality person. She wants to be the bottom of the barrel, so she attracts the bottom of the barrel. And she's happy with it. She's settling for it because she knows she can't get any better. She had a good man. She had BB. She lost a good man because she didn't take care of him properly. She didn't love him the right way.
Lives? Not good, Foodie. Me and you were going to fall out, mate.
There are like naked video, like there are videos because I caught him like recording without me knowing about it once. So I just kind of like, well, it's kind of sexy, you know?
Like I seriously doubt that he was recording her without her knowing. Like I keep remembering all the times that she would literally pack her bag full of lingerie and put on her makeup like she was getting ready to go to a prawn shoot. Like she was specifically going over there for that. Like I think she knew that he was filming her and she got a big kick out of it. She maybe that was part of her kink. I don't know. But I seriously doubt she didn't know.
He's like, I'll delete them right now if you want. Like he acts like, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Absolutely embarrassing. And how many other women has he done this with? Allegedly. If he did it with her. My lawyers have told me to say. And I know Foodie's going to use a line of, well, it takes people on average 8 times to leave a... No. Shut up. Stop.
Thank
you knew
you,
exactly
sir.
what he was from day 1.
Right.
Day 2, he's dangerous. Day 3, he's dangerous. He's a red flag. By week 1, he sounded like the worst person I've ever had any interaction with. He sounded horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
So don't give me this nonsense of, oh, it takes people... No, you knew exactly what he was like.
Right.
You weren't trapped. You had the power to leave. You had the independence to leave.
Right.
You had the financials to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You had support from thousands of people. You didn't wake up one morning after years and years and think, oh my God, I'm in a relationship. How did that happen? You didn't wake up after months or weeks. It was straight away. You knew what he was like. This didn't creep up on you. You knew exactly what he was. So if you use that line, it takes people, in your BMI voice, it takes people 8 times.
Bravo, Mr. Snowflake. Bravo. Hey, I'll do one too. I'll do one too, sir. And can I add this to what you just said? So yeah, she did that. She went on Google and she would pull up stats that backed up her whatever narrative, saying it takes 8 out of 10 times. Well, that only applies to actual victims, of which she's never been. She's never been a victim. Making up a story about being a victim does not make you one, nor does it make you a survivor when you get away. You know, making up a story about an experience is not the same as experiencing an experience. She was never a victim. I will die on that hill. She's never been a victim of anything. She makes other people into victims because she's a predator. She preys on people, but she tries to cover that up and distract people, doing the look over here, don't look over there. By painting herself as a victim, it hides the fact that she's a predator. She's an evil predator who preys upon everybody, anybody, especially men. She was never a victim of DV or SA. That's pretty apparent. If she had been, she wouldn't have ran back over there as many times as she did. She wouldn't have taunted him as many times as she did. Even to this day, she still mentions him, still talks about him. People who are real victims, they want to stay as far away from the person that hurt them as possible. They don't want to think about them. They don't want to be in the same neighborhood, the same state, the same country. They will get as far away as possible. They don't want to remember. Even after the charges allegedly to the cops, she kept going back. She kept sneaking over there to see him. I mean, that's proof positive nothing happened.
There's a reason, instead of the Olympics or whatever I was going to call it, there's a reason I've called this episode pathetic.
Okay, people keep asking me, like, are we official? What does that mean?
This was her trying to basically trick Natter into saying that they were in a relationship. She was desperate to claim him. She was so desperate that she took fake, phony engagement photos. She bought her own ring because she was so desperate to be claimed by Natter and also to lay claim to Natter. So she did this live stream right here, right now, where she's like, he didn't have a really good grasp of English and what certain words meant. And she was trying to take advantage of that by kind of pushing at him and saying, oh, like, we're in a relationship, right? Poke, poke, nudge, nudge with the elbow.
That's a title. So we should just say yes right now, right?
We should say, do you see her face? We should say yes right now, right? Trying to trick him into saying it.
Well, we're in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's shaking her head like this is what you should say. I want to claim you and I want you to claim me so I can say that I'm in a relationship. So just go with this.
He's not sure if
And you know she's going to come out with, he's victim shaming.
You know what? I bet part 2 is going to be victim shaming because I can tell the tone. He's just listening.
You know what? This is part 3. And talking about you, he's not victim shaming you because you were never a victim. So to that, okay? You were never a victim. So since you were never a victim, there's no victim shaming going on, huh, Chantal? To do victim shaming, you have to be a victim first. You never were. Predator. You never were.
To haters as his like credible sources of information. Please, it's all crap.
He's victim shaming. No, I'm not. I'm just stupid shaming. Big difference, marry him.
Love that. I'm stupid shaming. Go ahead, stupid shame. She's stupid.
I just left him at the pharmacy with an prescription. Like I literally just left him. Like I was gonna pay for his gonorrhea.
Yeah, that happened too, Beezers. So while she was with Natter, after everybody warning her about Natter, about like he's a runaround, play around, she had known way ahead of time. She continued to see him. Natter played around with people, and I guess he did it without protection, and he caught an STD, which then he passed on to Chantal. And then she turned around and she paid to get him healthy. So here's this guy who's a complete scumbag. He gives you an STD, and rather than say F you, you deal with this on your own. I'm going to go home and make myself better, and I'm blocking your number, and screw you. Well, not screw you because you got an STD, but like instead of just leaving the whole situation alone, she paid for him to get better. She had to pay for herself, and she continued to see him.
Where to start here?
Right.
Dom screamed in Foodie's face because who cares? Who cares? He does it all the time. Who cares? Screamed it in her face, so she left him at the pharmacy. Red Flag Man was seeing other women,
right?
Caught an STD. Foodie got up early to drive him there and to pay for his medication. God, every time I think, all right, that's the stupidest thing she's ever going to do. Please, sir, let me pay for your medication. Here's my bank card. Oh, would you like a new iPhone? Here you go.
Is it locked with like a face? So this phone will be garbage, but it's my phone.
Would sir like some new shoes?
Why are you gonna steal them when I'm gonna, like, I'm paying, you're not paying, what do you care?
The only way a Foodie could keep Red Flag Man around was to pay for everything, be his sugar mama. Did I use that right?
You're gonna need that money for rent because I'm not paying it anymore for you. Especially when I'm supporting you.
I can't believe she ever.
And that's exactly why she did things. With a narcissist like Foodie, they have no sense of empathy. You know, it's they don't do things out of true generosity. It's all like there's a purpose to it. Like, I'm doing this, but I'm expecting something back. Like a narcissist, there's no true sincerity in their nice. It's all like, I'm nice for a reason, and the reason is I want something back from you. Some kind of reward. They're using it as leverage. So she did a lot of stuff for Natter. She paid for his entire life, paying for his rent, his phone bill, bought him a new iPhone, bought him a laptop, an iPad, set up a channel for him, filmed the content, edited the content, did the thumbnails, bought all the groceries every week. And trust me, he ate really, really good too. Bought him clothes, took him on trips to nice hotels and motels. What else? Just bought him all kinds of stuff. Did all kinds of stuff with him. And he was an idiot, and he kept accepting her generosity, milking the cow. But every time you accept a bucket of milk from this one, you're getting in deeper. And you're giving her the illusion of he's accepting, therefore he's accepting me. And I'm getting more ownership over him. And he let her think that. As long as he was getting benefit, he let her think that. And so she became more and more possessive and jealous and insecure and unhinged.
I thought, we're in love. Oh, please let me pay for your STD medication. I don't know why I've made up British. What's the appeal? What's the appeal of Dom?
Oh my god. Yeah, he can cook, and that's about it.
So that's it. He can cook. So I'm going to microwave. You wouldn't fall in love with that if it said nice things to you. Foodie would. Can microwaves talk yet? I don't know. Sounds like something that's a thing.
I mean, I've heard of like getting yeast infections from being like not clean, but gonorrhea. I don't know. That's like,
yeah. Natter told her that, oh, you got an STD, you got gonorrhea from not being clean, and she actually allegedly believed it. That's how dumb she is.
Foodie man, what planet are you living on?
Right?
He told her, if you've got an STD, it's not because I've been cheating. It's because you're, help us out, lady parts are dirty. Oh, what a master manipulator he is. Is he? Or are you just a bit... Oh, missed me head there. So you know what she did? She bought perfume for a... I should have went with Lady Pop.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Foodie's a dirty person. She doesn't believe in taking showers or baths. If you put her in the shower, she's in there for less than 3 minutes. She doesn't use soap. She'll let the water just hit her skin briefly if she does, and then she'll get quickly out. And she thinks that by using a ton of body spray and cologne and perfume, that is better than a bath. And she did that a lot. And now, like, to the point where she would go over to Natter's place, just completely disgusting, and Natter would tell her to get into the shower. Like, you can imagine that. Here's a guy that you really, really like, and you're showing up stinking so bad, they tell you to go take a shower. And so her lady parts weren't smelling too good. And one of the things that can cause that is a bacterial infection, which is simple to clear up. You can use medication. But so on top of the overwhelming smell of sweat and BO, that was also going on. And she wonders why Natter wasn't attaching himself to her.
But Dom was having relations. Nice way of putting it. Dom was having relations with other women. Fraudy knew this, and she carried on also having her relations with him. So what do you think happened?
Listen, he gave me gonorrhea in my throat, you f***er.
Because I've honestly been very honest about my struggles. I mean, I've told you about my freaking addiction. I've told you I've gonorrhea.
You know, and I hate to be gross. I'm sorry. But I have to wonder if the reason why Natter was making use of her... How can I'm trying to find a nice way to say this, okay? Just... I'm wondering why, if the reason why Natter was, sticking to the attic versus going downstairs to the basement is because the attic was cleaner than the basement. Does that make sense? Like, sticking to the upstairs portion of the house because the downstairs portion is just too dirty and too nasty. And so he put his private parts in her mouth because he felt that was a safer option than going down below.
Yeah, I don't know how much more open I can be. So what's the deal with gonorrhea?
What's the deal with gonorrhea? Are you trying out for a stand-up career? What? What's the deal with gonorrhea? Hey, what's the deal with airplane food? Foodie man! Stop trying to find reasons why he didn't plow this time. Why he didn't plow with the women.
And something that's coming to mind right away, like the first time that Chantal went over there, a couple of things happened. She smoked out of a meth pipe that had been left behind by one of Natter's associates. So that happened. I also distinctly remember her saying that she walked into the bathroom and there was a tube of medicine that is normally used for those who have the herp simplex 1 virus. Like, she saw that. She saw that in the bathroom. Like, there was this stuff in the bathroom, in Natter's bathroom. So she knew something was up and she didn't care.
STD means it can only be transmitted by sex, right?
Fruity man. Sexually transmitted disease. You can only get it through sex, right? No, you can get it through holding hands too tight. What? I have got here. The clinic called. They swabbed my throat and I came back positive for the STD. I have a lot of mixed emotions. I'm going to be taking an antibiotic. Just one pill, apparently. I feel confused. I'm not sure where this came from. He denies any cheating, and I know I didn't. And without proof, what can I do? Fuck off. You can't be this dumb. You can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Snowflake. She can't be that dumb. The eyes will never see what the heart does not want to see. If a person wants to hang on to somebody, even if there's all kinds of stuff in front of them saying, don't be with this person, they are not good for you, it's unhealthy, it's toxic. If the heart isn't ready to see it, the eyes won't see it. You will purposely make yourself blind so you can walk around in complete ignorance and bliss.
She always says, Dom, he was able to trick me. He's a master manipulator. He's so smart. Is he? Or is it just you being so thick?
Anyways, I'm not trying to defend my choices. Yes, I'm stupid.
I bet.
I think part of the reason why she became so addicted to Natter is because they were so much alike. They were slightly different, but like on the core level of who they were both con artists and scammers and manipulators and liars and just all around rotten people. On that level, that degenerate level, they understood each other and they got along with each other. If we're going to be honest here, I think Natter met Chantal long ago, and he, like I said, he underestimated her. But then once he got wind of what she did and how she did it, like the amount of lying that she did and the layered lies on YouTube, like I think he was actually in awe of her, like, oh my God. Like I actually had that reaction. Oh my God, like geez, the way she lies. I mean, on an evil level, she surprised him. And he was in awe of her.
I bet I could get Foodie to believe anything I wanted. Absolutely anything. Mr. Cardigan and Dweeb Flake aren't the same person. It's two separate people. Oh, hello, Dweeb Flake.
Mr. Snowflake. What are we watching today, Mr. Snowflake? Mr. Cardigan.
Oh, I'm just making a video about Foodie Beauty.
Foodie Beauty, yes. Isn't she the one who provided a fake alibi to her boyfriend so people wouldn't believe that he was a rapist?
Yes, Dweeb Flake. Yes, it is. With these big videos I make, I like to end them on something big. Big event. The whole episode's been leading to something that's massive. I don't think it gets much more massive than this. A woman filmed...
Okay, like before we get into this part, this has to do with what happened with May. This has to do with SA. So anybody that might be triggered with talk of SA, like I'm just letting you know now, this has to do with Natter's interactions with May.
Herself in her car. I won't play it, but filmed herself in her car, really, really upset, crying, accusing Dom of SA. Plenty of people won't believe the woman accusing Dom. Plenty of people will. I know one person who believed the woman when it happened.
She needs to call the cops. I hope she's doing okay too. I can't even imagine somebody, especially somebody so vulnerable. I just want to puke. I don't know. He just said that it was one of his fans and that she was like a 70-year-old woman, and he was like, she's just mad. He said she's just mad at me because she wanted to have sex with me and I said no. And she threatened to say that stuff or something like that. You're already setting it up in my mind because he would say, I already told you about this. I already told you about this. No, you told me your fast ass version of it, which doesn't make any sense. And your screenshot actually makes you look worse. Showing that you talked to her on video for 14 minutes about what? Oh my God, I hate myself right now. Seriously. You're right. If he told you before she came out video, then he was already in damage control. Yeah. Because the way he had admitted, oh, she said she was gonna threaten this. So I was surprised by the allegations. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, but a part of me was that, like, because I know deep down he's probably that type of person. Like, well, now we know he is.
I don't even know what to say. I am beyond disgusted and horrified and overwhelmed at all of this information coming to forefront, i.e. Red Flag Man. My heart hurts for the poor woman who came forward and revealed what horrible things were done to her. I'm so sorry this happened to you, and I'm so sorry.
You know, I just want to give some thoughts right here. Justice for May. If wrong was done to her, she deserves justice. Absolutely. But if you go back through Foodie's history of the people that she surrounded herself with, there have been some really sketchy, rotten characters. Everybody knows about Karate Joe. Like, he was a convicted sex offender. He's no longer on this earth, but like that was her main mod. Natter with his criminal past. I don't know if she deliberately seeks out people that have something shady or evil about them, but she certainly surrounds herself with people like that. And I don't really think that she feels outraged when she finds out that somebody around her has something like that going on. Like, she already knows. Like, she's finding out about the May thing in this instance. And any other normal person would go, well, this guy he's a predator. And he did this. And leave. But she stuck it out with him.
For asking to see proof that this was all not true because...
And Foodie is so twisted. She's so incredibly twisted. She's such a manipulator. She is such a horrible, evil biatch. That when all of this happened, like, I'm sure she was thinking in her head, like, I've got him right where I want him. Like, he's at my mercy. I can either throw him to the wolves or save him. This just gave her more power over him. You know, she was loving that.
Because it chills me to the bone to think that someone I gave so much of, myself too, could ever do something like this. I am cancelling my trip. I am buying a new CPAP today, and I am done. I know it was said legal action was in the works. I am relieved. The trip Foodie was talking about there was her and Dom were meant to be going to Toronto. Obviously, wasn't happening now.
I honestly feel like just if I don't go to Toronto, I lose half the money for the hotel.
What's that?
So she planned a trip with Natter. And she could have gone by herself and enjoyed herself. So this woman who allegedly went through DV and SA, you're going to take this person who is abusive on a trip with you and have like a little pseudo romantic get together with him. Is that something that a real victim of either one of those things would do? Nope. Keep telling on yourself, Foodie.
The woman who accused Red Flag Man said he had this pill bottle. He was drinking out of a pill bottle. Foodie said, yeah, he had that pill bottle.
He bought something before. Like, we got something before. Like, I don't know. He had something that was like around the time that we were doing all that bad stuff. It was like in a bottle, but like it was liquid.
The woman also said he used this phrase with her, which Foodie said, yeah, he also used that phrase with her.
Yeah, he has said, like, pound pussy. I've heard him say that.
Foodie asked Dom for...
So, like, this May came forward, Chantal, and she said things, key things, to prove, like, yeah, this actually happened. Mentioning little details that if they had not been intimate, she would not have known. And I let me scratch that. let me change that word because that's the wrong word. They were not intimate as in consensual. So my apologies, May. But there was something of a sexual nature, I meant. And how would she know about these certain details unless something occurred? She wouldn't know these details if, say, he just went out to eat with Natter or took a walk in the park with him. These are details connected to sexual occasions.
Proof this didn't happen. And Dom wasn't interested in showing the proof.
When I asked him for proof that he didn't give me any. I said, show me proof. Even saying just to bait him to do it. Show me right now the entire conversation. And if you're innocent, I'll come over right now and I'll friggin', like.
Anyway, Dom couldn't have done it according to Foodie.
He said he didn't want to meet her, or he couldn't meet her or something because we were together. We were together.
No, you weren't. And she forgot that she streamed alone that day. So she blew out her own alibi.
Pretty much the whole time. So I don't know where he would have had time to.
Okay. The woman flew in on the 17th, stayed at the airport on the 17th. 18th, stayed the whole day, had a hotel room, and then left on the 19th of October, 2021. Foodie streamed on the 17th. No sign of Dom.
Nope.
She streamed on her own.
Right.
No sign of him in the background or anything.
Mm-mm.
She streamed on the 18th for nearly 6 hours. Guess who wasn't in the video or in the background making noise, anything? Just on her own again. And then she deleted the streams. Maybe for different reasons, I don't know. But it's very suspicious when you say, I was with him the whole time. People go, your streams prove you weren't. What streams? Okay. Anyway, there's no way he did it because he had proof that he didn't do it.
But he said he had all the conversation between them to prove that he didn't go. But I asked him to send it to me, and he just was like, you really believe that? I said, I just want to see it. If you have nothing to hide, send me the proof. And he just hung up on me. So...
Oh, well, that's not suspicious at all, is it? I've got proof. I've got loads of proof. Can I see it? Hello? Dom, you've gone, mate. Hello?
He didn't deny going to the hotel.
He didn't deny going to the hotel.
But he said he had all the conversation between them to prove that he didn't go. He didn't deny going to the hotel.
October 17th, the night she was at the hotel, I was at Dom's. So no, he did not meet up with her, and that is why she is salty. I'm not making excuses for what happened in our relationship, but falsely accusing someone of is beyond serious and disgusting.
And yet, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and yet reaction community, she said that. She said, oh, it's beyond disgusting. Let me just go back. Let me just read that line again because I want to quote this biatch. Okay? The last line especially. Falsely accusing someone of rape is beyond serious and disgusting. But I guess it's okay for you, huh, Chantal? Accusing somebody of DV when DV never happened. Accusing Natter of essaying you when that didn't happen. Remember talking about you went over there to see Natter and Dee, and there was a three-way situation, and you claimed at first that he essayed you, that he forced you in some way, and then later on, you retracted your statement. You outright said, the only thing that I did not like about that occasion was seeing Natter and Dee together. You went over there because you were desperate to be with Natter intimately. And the only way it would happen is if Dee was there. So you decided, you know what? I'm going to put up with it. And just to be with Natter, I'll deal with her there. But you did not like seeing them intimately together, and that made you upset. but no essay happened. But here you are making this community post. It's this accusing someone of rape is beyond serious and disgusting, but you're running around throwing out accusations of essay and DV at people when they never occurred with you. Ever.
Relationship, but falsely accusing someone of is beyond serious and disgusting.
And by the way,
Hey, listening,
Chantal, making up stories about DV and running to the cops and involving them or threatening to go to the cops, not out of justice, not because you want justice, because justice should be served, but because you're using the legal system as a means to threaten and blackmail another person is wrong. People who are actual victims, you're just making it harder for them to be believed when they come forward with their stories. Their real life stories, not made up stories, not YouTube stories. You need to stop. You need to stop all the lying now.
Amber. Okay, so she was definitely with him. He couldn't have gone to the hotel. Got it.
They had a meeting, unbeknownst to me.
Wait, I thought he didn't go to the hotel. Now he's having meetings with her.
He did lie to me about that. He didn't tell me that. He went to see her at the hotel. He never told me that, ever.
He didn't tell her that he went to the hotel. But why would he need to tell her if she was with him the whole time? I don't know if he did it or not. All I know is that his behavior right after it apparently happened was completely normal.
It's just yesterday we were talking about, like, getting married. Like, you want to marry me? I said yes.
Yeah, but this marriage proposal thing to you did not happen until after all of this happened. You don't find that suspicious, Chantal? That he's denying you a relationship until he gets in serious trouble? Don't you think maybe he was wanting to marry you to cover his behind? That's the only reason, not because he really loved you. Legally, he was covering his butt.
And prove to me you love me. Crawl on your hands and knees, naked. Kiss my feet. I didn't want to do the crawly thing, so no. But I did, yeah. I kissed his feet.
He's very horny for a man who's just been accused of rape, isn't he? What the hell's that about? Oh, this woman's just said I her. Can you kiss me feet real quick? Eh? What?
That's because he knew Chantal was desperate. Like, he could have told Chantal, walk across hot coals and prove to me that you love me, then maybe I'll think about marrying you. And she would have done it. Like, he was basically humiliating her, and she was allowing it. Like, show me how much you love me. That if you do this for me, then I'll accept you or I'll claim you. And anything he came up with, she was all on board for.
Oh, is this real, man? Crawl on the floor and kiss me feet. And she did?
She did.
What the... See why this episode's called Pathetic now. I know I'm being a bit silly, but in all honesty, Dom isn't the type of guy to do that to a woman.
I didn't feel comfortable doing like a position or something, and I don't know, anyway, and just like shoved me, like he like punched my arm or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot he allegedly punched Foodie when she wouldn't do this thing. But to be fair, I mean, Foodie's known to lie, and that's only her account.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how in the beginning when they were seeing each other, she would come home after being with Natter and have bruises on her chest and on her arms. And she was showing them off proudly, like, look, me and Natter had rough sex. But then when she was mad at him, suddenly those consensual bruises turn into something else.
It's not like there's a written proof that he's a danger to women. You your name when you me. Do you understand? Do you understand you hurt my cat and now she hates you? Do you understand all the money I've given you? Do you understand you have anger problem? We can't be together. I need to focus on myself. You need to take responsibility for yourself now. That's Foodie's message to Dom, and Dom replies, I will, and I will take my right. If you don't call me and fix what you did, so you are my enemy forever. Delphine number 2. Delphine number 2. Oh yeah, I forgot he allegedly stabbed a woman. Look, I know she's mentioned violence with Dom, but she's never talked about SA type violence.
Like, okay, so what's her face said, the person in this case said that the minute he got in the hotel, he shoved her on the bed. Give me your kitty. Number one, like, I've never known him to be like that. Like, he never just like shoved me and like, okay, take it, you know, like, no, and not unless it was consensual in that way. No. He did do things that made me uncomfortable and like really pushed my boundaries and didn't respect them a lot, but I didn't feel like I really evaluated the situation, what happened between us sexually, and I decided to go with it. It wasn't sexual assault for me because it just really didn't feel like sexual assault in my, like, it felt more just like we were drunk and just being like pushy and stupid, you know?
What did you say? I decided it wasn't sexual. Say it again.
He did do things that made me uncomfortable and like really pushed my boundaries and didn't respect them a lot, but I didn't feel like I really evaluated the situation, what happened between us sexually, and I decided to go with it. It wasn't sexual for me because it just
I decided it wasn't SA. I decided it. It's either it is or it isn't. And she's a flip-flopper. If you're good with Foodie, she'll decide in your favor. If you're against her or you make her mad, she's gonna flip it the other way.
Really didn't feel like sexual assault in my, like, it felt more just like.
And yet, this bitch, when she went to Cuba, after her, like, there was a sequence of events that happened. If I remember correctly, because so much has happened. If I remember correctly, she went to go see Natter and Dee Dee, and she had her little three-way situation with the two of them. And that's when she got drunk, they got drunk, and she saw Natter and Dee Dee together, and she didn't like it. And just for extra attention, she was claiming that Natter was being forceful, when that never happened. She just didn't like seeing Dee Dee and Natter intimately together. But for a minute, she was claiming that he had been forceful. And then when people pressed on her and said, was he forceful? Did he force himself on you? She was backtracking and backpedaling. Now her stories keep changing.
We were drunk and just being like pushy and stupid, you know?
Her story has more holes than Swiss cheese. She's full of obviously, I hope nothing did happen, but I really she wants attention from this. Otherwise, she would not be, I'm going to lead up in this and I'm doing videos. She wouldn't be doing that. Sorry, he's a lot of things. And yes, he was in a lot of ways, but not to that degree. So I don't know. I'm like, why did you go? He's like, I shouldn't have gone. I'm like, you should not have gone to that hotel at all. At all. Yeah, it's not going to look good for him too either, because all of my stories, I'm not victim shaming May. I'm not saying nothing.
Yes, you are.
Thing happened. I don't know. You guys don't love him. I've seen his good side.
And that's how she's justifying it. Oh, I've seen his good side. So that good side, that few minutes of a good side, justifies all the wrong with him. Okay.
And I fell in love with him for a reason.
No, you're never in love with him. He was never in love with you. You just both needed each other for different reasons. That's it. That's all. End of story. You needed him for companionship because your life was boring. You needed somebody for content, and he needed money. So the two of you came together. You can yell and scream and say Natter used me. And you would be right, Chantal. He did use you, but make no mistake, it went the other way too. You used him. His presence online, you get to talk about him. That whole period between you and Natter, you made the most money. You haven't made that kind of money since. You profited off of being around Natter and all the drama with Natter. You made more profit off of Natter than you ever did with Salah. I mean, let's tell the truth here. You both used each other for different reasons.
Basically, when she wants to be in a relationship with Dom, didn't do it. That woman's a liar. And when she's hating him, yeah, maybe he did it. We don't know, do we? She's nice. You enjoying the video?
Apparently, after, like, she sent messages. Apparently, after the day that it happened, according to her, she's messaging him, accusing him of rejecting her, and she's gonna, like, go after him and all this other. So, like, she's just, like, her credibility to me is just, like, if you want my opinion on the situation, that's my opinion. To me, she's just a crazy old woman looking for clout, and that's my opinion. There's more holes in the story than Swiss cheese. I want the truth too. I was there. I'm gonna prove it. I actually proved it. I showed you the food I made for him. I'm pretty sure we filmed video, and then he had plans or something. I don't even know. I don't remember. I'm so grossed out. If they did anything, I'm grossed out. Obviously, denial. I don't want to think that I would ever love someone like that could do that. I can't. You came home and cooked and later went back to his house. You said he had a date. Really? We don't know what happened. You know what I mean?
She's bang on. She's right. We don't know what happened. So why is she coming on here saying this woman's lying? Why are you mocking this woman?
I'm gonna lead up in this and I'm doing videos.
The case is in the court now while I'm filming this. So we don't know what the outcome is yet. What if the outcome is, yes, he's found guilty of that? Foodie's then going to be on camera, officially mocking an SA victim? Is that the worst thing that we see? Mocking an alleged SA victim? Tell me that's the worst it gets. Comment below. Does it get worse?
Mm-hmm.
She set up his YouTube channel. She introduced him to the audience. And he met this woman because of his YouTube channel. Great job, Foodie. Another smart decision. He was a danger. He was a red flag. He was aggressive. I know I'll set up a YouTube channel and introduce him to more women.
Right. He was so awful, but and I'm gonna set him up a channel where he's gonna talk to more women. Is that the thing you do with somebody who's abusive? Like, give him a platform, introduce him to YouTube. Honestly, he shouldn't have been on YouTube to begin with. He's brought nothing to the platform. Nothing.
Mint. Well done. So I don't know if he did it or not. I guess that's not my job. That's the court's job. Definitely not my job. My job's a lot easier. I just have to figure out, did Foodie lie about this to protect her dealer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. We've come to the end. I think we could all do with it ending there. After the last episode, I needed a bit of a break from Foodie's face. So I made videos on the second channel, on Under the Hood. Go subscribe. I made videos. What did I make? I made cat news. I just made silly stuff that was nice. Although I made a video on O.J. Simpson as well. Imagine making a video on O.J. Simpson. That's my break from Foodie Beauty.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm not having a break this time. I've started on episode 4 already because from the looks of it, I need to finish the series before she dies.
But before I go, I need to thank some YouTube channels. Meandering Thoughts, so many clips from that channel I used. Without that channel, I wouldn't have an episode 3. So thank you very much, everybody. Pop over, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, there wouldn't have been an episode 3 without that channel. Barbecue Chicken as well. I watched a lot of to catch up on the law. Just Saying, Just Saying really helpful for that as well. Yeah. So thanks to those channels. Couldn't have made this episode without them. So thank you very much. Everybody go subscribe. It's mad, isn't it? The last episode, we ended on her having sympathy for predators. This episode, we've ended on her lying about where her boyfriend was. So people didn't think he was I've no idea what we're going to end episode 4 on. I'll discover Foodie Beauty was pen pals with Hitler. I don't know. I don't know. Spoilers. We all know she ends up with Salah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But what's mad is, I've got no doubt if Dom called her up and said, leave him, let's be together, let's get married, she'd blow off that fake marriage.
He would.
And she'd go and be with Dom straight away. She'd be...
As a matter of fact, I'll do you one better, Mr. Snowflake. I'll do you one better, sir. It is my opinion and my feeling that this whole thing with Salah that happened, the whole thing, that was Foodie trying to do a get back at Natter. She was angry. All the money that she spent, all the time she spent on him, and he was still with Dee. She tried everything in her power to break those two apart because she wanted Natter all to herself, and it just wasn't going to happen because even Natter knows how unstable she is. And he's looking for some kind of stability. So he picked the one that had the house that he could live in rent-free. But Chantal was salty. Very, very salty and bitter and angry that she couldn't have Natter to herself. So she picked Salah as a get back to say to Natter, look, I'm going to give everything that I once gave you to somebody else. She was doing it to basically get back at him and also maybe get him back by trying to create this sense of urgency, like, you better grab on to me. I've got this younger man. I'm about to give him all of my money and put him on YouTube and make him YouTube famous. If you want me to continue to support you, you need to get away from Dee Dee. And it backfired because Natter did not make a move. He maintained his position. And by that time, Chantal was so down deep in the hole with this whole Salah arc, she couldn't back out of it. If she backed out of it, she would lose face with Girl World, with the reaction channels and the reaction channel community. So she had to follow through with it. But if Natter had made one phone call before that first trip to Kuwait to meet Salah, if he had said, I want to be with you, I'm leaving Dee Dee, she would have just not gotten on that plane. I promise you she wouldn't have. Natter has always been the one that she always wanted. The one that got away, the one that she couldn't own. She settled for Salah because she couldn't have what she really wanted.
On a plane straight away. I can't prove that. That's just speculation. I can't prove it. Like the sister in the dryer thing. Why do I keep mentioning that? Sorry, Foodie. Sorry. I know it annoys you. Hopefully you can carry on being a better person. Like I keep hearing you say these days, that you're a better person now. So hopefully you can carry that on. I don't know how long that's going to last because it looks like you've already got one foot in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby. Are your feet working? Is that the diabetes? Stay alive till I finish the series, will you? I keep finding clips of you saying you're a good person now. I haven't seen any examples of you being a good person. Maybe in episode 4 I'll find them in between Cuba Rage and Cat Abuse, maybe somewhere in there. I'll find it. Right, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm off to have a shower and wash the foodiness off me. And I'll see you all in episode 4. Yeah, bye everybody.
Look forward to it, Mr. Snowflake, and I'm sure it's going to take a while because there's a lot to go through. But thank you so much, sir, for all the hard work you do. Because putting together a documentary, just one, it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, y'all. My friend Erie Pepperoni, just doing one documentary, it took her weeks. So I can only imagine what Mr. Snowflake is going through. So that's it for this react. I know it's a bit of a longer one. You guys can just watch the parts that you want to or not. But I wanted to react to it and post it to my channel. So thank you guys for being here. And I'm gonna let you go, and because I've got to get some breakfast. My tummy is grumbling at me. I didn't plan on reacting this long. Oops. So I got to go fix that. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.